taking a morsel of food. And right when I heard Allahu Akbar, I put that morsel of food down and I put the hijab on my head out of respect for the adhan. And because of that deed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved it so much that He forgave me. So a deed that we think is insignificant and a deed that we thought was significant, but look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the day honors, is that which is why I'm saying that everything we do counts. So even the smallest actions that we do count. Can you imagine all it was that she was putting a morsel of food in her mouth, and then she put that down out of the respect of the adhan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave her. So everything we do in this life, my brothers and sisters, counts. And it just depends on how serious we take these. Which is why they say never take any of your actions as insignificant. For rather, everything you do has an effect on the world. It doesn't matter what it is. They say even if you say Allah, do not even think that doesn't have an effect on you. Even saying the word itself has an effect on you. And saying wrong things has an effect on you. Which is why, right? You say a black dot comes upon the heart every time you do a sin. And when you do a good deed, it takes it off. That's the whole point. So I thought that was a very beautiful story. This is a queen. This is a queen of Islam, and this is her action. And not only that, this is a story, an example for us to realize that this was not just some Sufi wafer sitting on the side of the street in shambles state, but rather actually the majesty of the Muslims was the queen. And this was the state of her iman, that she was known to be righteous. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave her for that. And my last story that I will conclude of was that of Hazrat Bakhtiyar al-Qaki. And he was a great saint in the Indian subcontinent. In the Indian subcontinent, his name was Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar al-Qaki. And in India, they have a minar, it's called Qutub Minar, and it's after Hazrat Bakhtiyar. The story is that Hazrat Bakhtiyar is regarded as one of the greatest saints, I guess, in the Indian subcontinent, and his righteousness was known everywhere. The thing is, on his death, on his janazah, he had 3 requirements for people to lead his salah. 3 requirements, and listen to these 3 requirements. When he had passed away, he was lying dead, and he told his khadim that I have 3 requirements. Whoever leads my janazah, he has to fulfill these 3 requirements. The first was that he never missed the takbir tahrima of any salah in jama'ah since being baligh, since being mature. So obviously all salahs were prayed with jama'ah, and he never missed the takbir, the first takbir of the salah. He never missed that. Second, he never missed any 4 sunnahs before his asr salah in his life. Obviously once you become of age, that he never missed that. And lastly, he never looked upon any non-mahram woman with lust or with a dirty thought. Subhanallah. These were the 3 criteria of Hazrat Bakhtiyar al-Qaki. For the person who leads his salah, janazah salah, he has to fulfill these 3 requests. So when that request was stated, the whole majlis was just, all the people, Muslims that were standing there, they were just awed. They're like, who would be able to fulfill those requirements? And think of it, that you've never missed one of the first Allahu Akbars of Jama'ah. You never missed one. That means you've prayed every salah in Jama'ah. Fajr to Isha. 2, you've never missed any Asr Sunnah. There's 4 sunnahs. And third, the most difficult, and this goes back and forth, and never looking at a woman who is not your mahram, meaning a woman who is besides your mother, your sister, your maternal aunt, your grandmother, your paternal aunt, so on. You know, like anyone except them. Obviously we don't, but I'm just saying, anyone other than them, that you didn't look at them with lust. I mean, look at the statement. And look how pure a human being, you know, the first 2 I think are significant, but the last, imagine the purity of one's heart. So everyone was dumbfounded. They were like, who will be leading the salah? And no one came up. And then finally, after seeing that no one came up, one person came forward and he was crying. He said, "Oh Shaykh, you yourself in your death have covered your status but within your death you revealed mine. And he was crying. And the person who came up forth and said, never in my life did I miss the first takbirs of Jama'ah. Never in my life did I miss the 4 salahs of Asr Salah. And never in my life did I look at a woman who was not my mahram with lust. And the person who led that salah was Sultan al-Damash in the Arabian Peninsula. He was a king. And of all the people who fulfilled that requirement, there was only one, and that was the king of that time to lead that salah. And this is just something I think that, when subhanAllah, look at the level of an individual. That was obviously Hazrat Bakhtiyar's level, but look at the level of the king. And this is, again, I'm just showing you 2 examples, stories of those who were our leaders and who we can learn from. But not just wayfarers and not just people who are just hand to mouth and always, with their hand out say, oh Allah, please give me food, please give me this and that. Of course we ask Allah, but I'm saying these weren't the people whose hand was at the taking hand. Their hand was always at the giving hand. And yet, look at their consciousness and their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're dealing with their Lord. So I will just inshallah conclude with this, that these were just my random reflections, and as I said, there wasn't any sequence, but these were just some stories and things that I thought of that I would like to share, and I thought I just thought they were beautiful, and they were profound, and I still think that statement that Lincoln said was just as profound, and I think of it now, and I'm like, subhanAllah, it's nothing but being profound. And the story of Hazrat Zubaydah and Hazrat Bakhtiyar al-Qaqi and al-Damash, I just think that's beautiful. So I just pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq that we actually become proper representatives of Islam, and on top of that, not only the state of just actions but within our heart, and that let our heart be the truth, and through the trueness of our heart that we will fulfill these actions and go forth and represent Islam with the best way. So with that, inshallah, I will conclude. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim majid. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khalqi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Jazakumullah khair for coming, and we'll conclude the session today with that.